Hello. Sorry, I forgot, like, I was, I'm like all ready to start, and then I realized that my webcam was still packed in my bag from the convention, so I needed to reconnect it. So, yeah, all working now. Helly Boy ad. Oh yeah, ads. So. I think that's a little too forward. Hold on. I have the stream chat right behind essentially the webcam, so. Right there? Is that good? Wait. Nope, I'm gonna disappear. There we go. Okay. Happy Friday. It's Friday. So last weekend I was at Windy City, and so I had Monday off, and today I had a bunch of stuff going on, so just this whole week's just, yeah. But Windy City actually went really well. I actually got to show the preview of this. That went over well. It was actually super low key, which is nice because I normally don't get low key for a lot of those. And actually probably had the best Saturday night of convention yet. Because normally one of the nights for the Charlie Cons has been Saturday or Sunday night. We'll have Bad Fanfic, and then we've been doing the Super Fight panel. And they're usually back to back, so that's like 3.5 to 4 hours long of just content. And we had a lot of fun. It was probably the best out of the ones we've done yet. Mainly because I actually got this printed, so this is essentially what I'm hoping to be is the final version of the Pony Super Fight. So, I was actually going to be putting out a video about it, hopefully soon, because I want to try to start selling it at MLP MSP. But there's a lot of cards in there, so there's 400 total. Though these are higher quality card stock, I'm thinking for the final one, I'm going to go with the lower quality, not because it's a lower quality material, but because it leaves extra space. And I had ideas for an expansion or two, and then it would allow you to put it in the box. Anyway, but I was going to do a video on that because somebody really nice at the convention, I think his name was like I Read Pony or something, I can't remember the exact name. He recorded the whole thing and then gave me the SD drive to download it, and I also recorded the web, because that's what the webcam is for. And that would be a so you can actually watch the game be played for the full panel. And I checked with Charlie, I can post it. No, it's not like Yu-Gi-Oh! It's not that kind. It's Super Fight. So it's the idea of the game is that it's like Super Fight where you have characters and attributes, but the attributes are split into positive and negative. So you have the idea of the game is it's called Iron Pony, and the Iron Pony is considered the winner of the challenge 3 in a row. And each challenge you win, you go on to the next battle, but you have to get another negative thrown on top. And you keep going. If you go 3 in a row, you're the Iron Pony and you get a point. So in this case, you could say like, let's just grab a random pony here. So like we have Gummy, and his superpower, his talent, is that he can breathe fire. But then let me toss these back in quick. So Gummy can breathe fire, and what he's being screwed over by is he can't stop singing the MLP thing at the top of his lungs. So just like stupid little things like that. And the whole point of the game is to, well, how would Gummy do that? That's the whole point of it, is to argue. So the two people that are competing against each other argue, and it's up to the rest of the people playing the game to vote to see who would win. And the cool thing is I brought these little buggers. This was the old horse fight name when I had these cards, but had actual people fill in attributes for the panel. So people at the panel actually filled these in and threw it into the deck. So the whole thing is about actual people using these and mixing them in. So it actually went very, very well. Well, and then the challenge isn't just like be like to win in a fight. So like this one would be downhill skiing. So there's 108 pony. They're pony talent and poison joke cards, and then there is I think 52 challenges. And that's what the like the logo will look like and stuff. So, but yeah, I had to rush order this to get it before the convention, and I got it in time. But it went really, really well. Knightley kicked everybody's asses. But so yeah, I'm hoping to sell the Bammo PMS feed, but I need to put in a big order, and this I think each of these boxes is 2 pounds, and I'd be ordering 100 of them, so it'd be a 200-pound shipment. So it's I need to do that earlier than later. Anyway, so we were doing video stuff last time. Actually, we were doing picture stuff, and the picture that we worked on last time, I forget. I guess I forgot to put it on my flash drive or something because I was at the panel and I couldn't find it. So it's available for next time. For those that weren't here, we had a bad fanfic panel on the last stream. Now I'm curious. Yeah, I don't know how this didn't get in my folder. Whatever. What was this one? So it's just something short, simple, and quick. So cutesy. Anyway, so and I know I did work on this a bit last time. What did we work on? Because there's one part of this that I needed to get done, and I did. What part was it? That was towards the end. Was it this part? No. I can't remember what it was now. Anyway. Picture? Yeah. It was, for the bad fanfic readings, we do a quick I do like a quick picture to go with the panels. So the new ones I don't want to really show, but the other ones like Twilight Runs. I didn't do one for Twilight Runs Out of. And okay, actually those don't have anything else. Go old. So for like Airshipping is Magic, we had this one. For My Little Lobster, we had that one. This was my favorite. So it's just little pictures to go with it. So it's the name of the fic was Twilight Sparkle Punches a Baby. And so while reading the fic, we have the picture up. And then a couple of the other ones we have a gimmick that would go with it. So for Twilight Sparkle overreacts to everything. We had somebody did a different panel once that I had 2 pictures for a gimmick that never worked out, and he was like, "What's picture number 2?" So I expected that somebody might do that again too, of call out a picture number. So originally the story was called Starlight Glimmer Overreacts to Everything, and I always say the name before the picture. And then I opened up the first one, and it was not that. So when people laughed at that, I looked at, and so I'd feign ignorance and be like, "Oh no, hold on, that's the wrong one. It's supposed to be this one." And Starlight Glimmer is kind of agitated. And I'm like, wait, no, that's still the wrong one. Hold on, there we go. And that would be the one I'd end at. That was picture 3. And somebody did during that panel go, "Hey, what's picture number 4?" And I showed him that. So it was just some stupid little fun. Anything to get a laugh. But it went really, really well. The bad fanfic panel went really well too. This time we weren't. The panel wasn't overly intoxicated. It was the right amount of intoxicated. Makes a big difference. Anyways, so what do I have on here to do? Oh, actually, one thing to mention on here that I thought was super cool. We did read a story called Celestia Robs a Bank. The best part about it is that the actual author of that story was at the bad fanfic reading. So when I said the name of the story, I hadn't had the picture up yet, and I just hear somebody in the background, I can show this picture. So someone in the background say, "Is this from Iroh Lego Man?" And I look down, and I'm like, "Yeah, it is." And he like jumps and screams, and he was super excited because this was actually written by him. And so we had him come up, and I can't remember whose side or who he spoke for, but we had him actually do one of the readings for it. It was just super cool. Like, what's the chances of the actual fanfic for the reader? And that was the first time we read it, so it was good times, very good times. So what can I do here? So this one's complicated. I'm trying to stick to the easy stuff first. Actually, that might not be too bad. Oh, I was wondering why that was fine. Okay, so I'm thinking probably can do this one here. I just do not feel like doing any lip syncing right now. So he is flat. Oh yeah, he's not. That scene not done yet. He is now Rocket. Do I want to keep him like this? No. You gotta be careful though, because his Spike's shoulders are not a fun thing. He's supposed to be thrown there by magic, so and at this point he would still be encased in magic. I just have a feeling that, so yeah, I'm just gonna have to play with this a bit more. Let's do this and this. Oh, just a reminder that tomorrow is meetup day. Oh, I was just like, hold on a second. Am I destroying stuff for later? Nope. There's no actual movement to this stuff. Not like that matters, so I'll just stand in anyway. I think probably the most difficult part of all this is going to be getting the lighting to work right so that it looks good on the rocket, but that Spike is literally not glowing. Because when I have this shot from here, the lighting has to at least be somewhat close to what the lighting will be here. And I think that's going to be a bit of a challenge. I think I'm going to have to dumb the rockets, or boost the brightness of the rocket's textures so that I can decrease the light's actual brightness. The mall, not the game meet. If everybody's the plan is everybody starts getting there at about 11. The other last month, because of a snowstorm, we ended up canceling and moving it a week. So you're still... Just make it look flat to the surface. I want to bring his tail a little bit down too. Just be careful, like this bugs me so much. I mean, it'd be pretty easy to fix, but I'm super lazy. On that one, actually. You know what? I'm not even gonna care with what's at the beginning. His eyes should be closed. And it's okay having him clip there. Because you're from this angle, it'd just be like he's squashed against it. Okay, and at this point, I now need to determine what do I want his final positioning to be. Okay, so was it his pelvis that did the motion? Yes. So if I do anything with pelvis, I just have to be extra careful. What is that? Oh, figure out how I'm making this look like. This look like what? Oh, of your environment maps? Wonderful. Trying to make something that's shiny or like using environment maps and stuff is a lot of it depends on the lighting of stuff around it, what the environment map is that you're using. Are you trying to copy? Oh, you're just it's both the same texture file. A lot of what usually I do when I try to make something look metallic is I just use Fong. I feel that Fong usually has a better looking metallic effect than any type of environment map. Environment maps, I just never could get them to work correctly, mainly because a lot of the models for Pony have very flat rounded surfaces, and an environment map over those surfaces makes the surface seem exceedingly smooth, and it just seems to break any type of illusion, and normally just doesn't work the way I want it to. I don't think I know enough about it or something. But Fong usually works a lot better. Normally, if I remember, I'm trying to remember right, the two values for Fong. Well, for one, I would take your Fong. your Fong tint, that's going to be the color that the light at the edges reflects off of. And if your metal is... and actually yours does have kind of a decent bit with Fong there. Or not Fong, with the environment map. Turn your Fong to a slightly gold color. So this is going to be your red, green, blue. Just change it or decrease your blue to like 0.2 or 0.3. Make it more of a yellow color, because then the light that's reflecting off of it won't be a white on the edges. It will actually be more of that gold color. For the environment map, you're just using the default one, which is actually should work fine. You can color your environment map, I believe. Map color, or I can't remember. You have to look up the VMT files information for it. But the environment map itself is never a super strong effect. And the difficulty you might have is, you can see like here on this little line here, even though the texture itself has some kind of definition, the environment map is just smoothed right over it, which doesn't feel right. You would think that if it was metallic in some way, that those surfaces would either be a bump or a raise in that, or that they would be made of a different material and therefore a different reflectivity. You can put a mask on. I think that's what the normal map alpha environment mask type thing is, where you can set up a mask to say these areas reflect but these areas don't. How that is done, or the best way to go about that, I have not played around with it enough to know for sure. But I would highly recommend, at least for Fong. So Fong isn't going to give you a lot of the lighting and the body section here, but at the edges, it's going to look a lot better. It usually works for better in low lighting situations. If I remember right, it's the Fong exponent is decreased and Fong boost is increased, or vice versa. I believe it's one goes up, one goes down. And the Fong Fresnel ranges are... I don't get the 0.521. Fresnel ranges usually are min-max and then the middle point. But your middle point is higher than your max. So what I would think would be better if you're looking for a metallic, because a metallic is normally going to have a crisp edge, having the middle number closer to your lower number is going to cause a fuzzier, or not even I think towards the bottom, just somewhere in the middle or closer to that bottom is going to get a fuzzier edge. But if you put that middle number closer to your top end number, it's going to make a much sharper edge, which would be more metallic instead of opaque. So here having 0.5910 would probably give you a better metallic type bit. Yeah, I guess that's the main things I would give for recommendation. If you're actually looking for good environment maps that are not just the environment cube map, which is going to if you set environment cube map, it's just going to grab whatever the cube map is for that map type. So for certain ones like this one, it might have one set, but all the cube map is a pre-made texture of what might be the interior of this building. So say that you're in inside this building, it might have an image of the actual building. No matter where you are in it, it will just be the same reflective image, and it can work pretty good, but it doesn't always mean that's going to be the case. But that's always going to be like a mirror finish. Maybe you don't want mirror finish. Maybe you want some kind of metallic finish. There is, in the workshop, a pretty neat pack of just environment maps. Ooh. I like this one. Sorry, I'm distracted. Yeah, I like these. Okay. This is what you gotta check often. Constellation love. Oh, it's a puppy. Oh my god, it's a puppy. They need him in game. Alright, anyway. I believe the picture is either of an orb or of Samus. Zip it a zip. Okay, I think that's going to take a while. What am I subscribed to? I think that might be the quicker way to do it. I don't think it was that old. It just had 28 pages. I'm just looking for one of the two. I think it's just a big orb. I've had it for a long time. I passed it. It's super useful. A cube map? Yeah, maybe that'll find it. Nope, here it is right here. Ah! Don't need your searching cube map. No, so these ones actually give a better... like if you're looking for the gold reflection, this one might be a better option. So, like that. Though it might be overly reflective. On some regards, it's yeah. So like here's the gold one. So it gives the big pack for it. The difficult part is that you normally to use a texture you have to either redirect to it or something, but it has to be within the same game files. So when you download this, it goes to the workshop, and then you're going to have to copy it out of the workshop into the actual folder of something that you're working on. So that's probably going to be where you're going to have to set up a an environment mask. VT and that. This is creating it. I don't care. Here we go. So I know that there is a way to do it. There we go. Env map mask. So this is just going to be where you're going to define where the reflectivity is, and like here you can see that they actually make it so like this might be more worn areas of metal, so it's rougher, it doesn't have a finish, so those might be, or actually in this case I think those are more reflective. So the map will let you do that. The best way to probably do it, when you open your texture, like here, I'm guessing that's the texture, you can see right on there, like right here where the dark areas are. You could really, I think, even just take this exact like texture file and just like use that as your map. Do know that it'd be an area that's a gray color, like here, that's not pure white, is going to dim down or reduce the effect, which might be needed. But you can use usually nmap tint to decrease that if you so wished overall. But yeah, just try that. Just take your not your bump map, not your purple and your blue one. Take your black and white one and use that as the mask. Let's see how it works. Again, it's not something I've ever really done. At least not very much of. So you're gonna be on your own a little bit, but that should work. It's Freddy, right? Yeah, I might need to fix that model. Like, that's ridiculous. Okay. It's where. I didn't even check. They might have actually made an update to it. Anyway, so what position do we want him in for final? I kind of want to have him be in like this. But I feel that that's going to be difficult to do. Because it's just going to be him clipping right there. You know what? I'm not going to bother. So we're going to keep it like this. And I'm just going to do something in between. Yeah, let's keep it like that. So from here, so my thought is from here, he would pretty quickly just kind of fall here. So let's just kind of take everything that makes up his upper half. Grab his other ear, sure. Okay, I don't want to accidentally select any of these other stuff. Okay, so they're gonna probably want to grab it from like back there. Quick. Oh, this goes too quick. I'm thinking if I maybe keep his head up a little bit, maybe head and spine too. I think I'm just going to undo, oh yeah, that adjustment at all. Let's try that. Man, you know what? I spread his arms out, but he needs to have a brain still. Where's the brain? The brain is gone. Bring it back. I'm thinking what I can do is have the brain be where he was holding it up at this. No, his arms can't reach. Whatever. I could have him land further up. So have Spike. Ooh. Oh, okay, yeah. That makes sense. Because if I started him further up, like here. Yeah, he's going to wherever he's going. I could at least take the brain. And state that the brain was like kind of teetering right here. Because the main thing is the brain has to be visible. If it's not visible at any point in this shot, then being that this is the previous shot, even if he threw it in there at that point, the viewer would probably miss it super easy. So I have to make sure that it is visible, that you know that it was put in there. No, there's nothing. There's no one or the other. It should be both. I'm just being stubborn. You should be utilizing both the graph and the. Oh, I just got shit out of the cat. Sorry, kitty. Whatever. The graph editor is better at some things, and the motion editor is better at some things. To me, it's in the name. The graph editor is better at graphing, is better at the pinpoint, keyframing, and positioning, while the motion editor is better at smooth motion. So there's no winner as to one being better than the other. Oh, now he's high. Shift a little sideways at some point? I think so. Hell, the copy paste doesn't even work between some ponies sometimes. Like, somebody will make a pony and model looks exactly the same, but the bones will be a 180 swap on all of them. Like, they were just their reference position was weirdly imported to where it's everything is a 180 turn. No idea why. On the other one thing, and this is probably the one that bugs me the most, the difference in naming conventions for facial flexes. It would be nice because if the names are all the same and you did all the lip sync for a pony, you could actually copy it to a different model if the names were the same. Most times not, though. You could decompile the model and modify the names, but that's a lot of work to go through. But it just seems like everybody has their own naming conventions. And not to say that I'm not guilty of it, it's just that the ones that I've made are I'm the only one that has a download of them. So I don't feel as much about... I'm just making it to my specs. But if you're going to make it a public thing, it's like the difference between a USB cable and a lightning cable. Why'd you break from the standard? Oh, yeah. So... pet peeve over. Also, I can't say too much. I'm not a modeler, so being that most modelers provide a free service, I'm not going to complain about getting something for free. Especially since I can fix it myself if I so wish. The fact that I'm not is more on me. Kind of. Not a whole lot on that. So when he gets pulled back, I'm thinking he would swing away. So let's say he gets pulled away, but when he does, his upper body's going to kind of lag behind. Probably his head more than anything. Yeah, so it's going to be like that. Yeah, that actually gets difficult too. There's other ones I've seen with, I think Gildo is one of them, that that doesn't make any sense to have teeth in the beak. But when people make it, they just make it so that it works for, a lot of them are built for pictures to make it look good, but the actual use of them, I don't think it was ever 100% tested of like, how would it work for this situation, how would it work for this situation. They're not thinking about lip syncing a bird. It would be nice, because it is hard to make good-looking speech without some kind of teeth. I think I might slow this down a little bit. Some of the details I want to put in, I'm not going to be able to put in unless I give it more time. little bit more time. I think it could work. Just gonna stretch it out a bit more. Yep. Probably speed up the end a little bit then too. If his root's way across the room, so anytime I do alt spin, breaks. Oh, our model does have teeth? Okay. I know Gilda's went through a couple iterations. I thought the Gallus, Gallet, I don't remember his name, the Bluebird, I thought he actually had pretty good looking, it would look like a pretty good model, but a lot of these like first iteration ones where it's like the first new designs or something are usually very, very simple and rough at first. The ponies look real nice because they've went through a whole bunch of iterations and testing and opinions, and so over time it's just going to look better. I can't remember his name. Hold on. Gallus. Yeah, glue. Yes. I don't know. Maybe maybe they do make glue from them too. It's actually funny because like me and a bunch of people I know, like we're still bronies. We still go to the conventions, but a lot of it's to hang out with friends. So I haven't really watched much of the show. Like I watched the season 9 premiere because I was there. But I have not finished season 8, and I think I still have some of season 7 to see, and I think I even have an episode from like season 5 I haven't seen. So, but I just haven't cared. But when I was working on the card game here, during the panel, I had to or when I was making this, I had to go and look up some characters that I don't even know who they are. And during the panel, I had to help my friends. They're like, "Who is this?" Like, who is Captain Solano? Like that. Okay, that one I know. But Boneless, you know, these little obscure ones. No, I actually like Gallus. I love his design. He's I think one of the cooler designs. But I just think it's funny that there's all these characters and like who was that? I think I want to take this spot right here. Where's the pelvis? It's probably not going to work. What direction is? Oh, it's a mix. You need the green and the blue. Not the green and the blue. Green and red. I don't know colors. Essentially, that's kind of what I was going for. My thoughts on the premiere. I guess spoilers ahead if anybody hasn't seen it. I thought it was kind of stupid, only in that some of it just didn't make any sense. But again, it's a kids show, so if you look past that, it was fine. It just, and I'm trying to remember, there was just like a lot of it, but it was that there's just so many inconsistencies with things that didn't make any sense of why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Like, when they say, we're going to retire, and it's like, okay, you're going to retire, that's fine. But the only people that save the world are them. And again, apparently it was to test them, but once the sisters are gone, they'd still be doing the protect, but now running it. It's like if they're putting way too much on them, and it just feels like that nobody in that show can survive or function without Big Mama Twilight to hold their hand. Because like even in the Crystal Empire, Freaking Cadence is supposed to be like almost as powerful. She's an alicorn. Why is it that like Sombra pops in and just like that is able to take over, and then Twilight pops in and just shoots rainbow beams from her eyes, and suddenly it's okay? It's like people need to learn to cope for themselves. Why the hell do you have an army if they're so incompetent? I don't know, it does. How did they survive for the like years before Twilight even was there? It makes that just doesn't. That bothered me. But other than that, if we look at it from a kid's perspective, cool things happen, shiny. So that's fine then. Yeah, I just feel like the show relies too much on Twilight and them to have the world itself just function coherently. I think if I actually, let's do, instead of some of that stuff I've done, blue rotation, so I think that's this one. Nope. So this is the peak of that rotation right here. I want to have it go to about here and stop. Okay, and I'm just going to grab all these. Around it. Arms need to swing back a little bit. No, I agree. Slice of life is better. Some of those don't make much sense. Just in that, all these epic things happen, and then they're like, "And I'm gonna go kick apples." And it's like, what? You risked your life to save the world, and you haven't been given some kind of a government stipend to cover all the risk that you are in. If I was the leaders of that country, I would be protecting the hell out of them. Put them somewhere that they can live comfortably with not having to worry about real normal life stuff, so that they are in tip-top shape for when crap goes downhill. Brains are how rockets work. At least in my world they are. His head just does not fit in there. I actually should like have his head fit better. Can't remember if I can do that spine or not. With this angle, I might not care. Oh, I'm putting Spike in a rocket. We're going to launch him off into space because it's Spike. Oh, here, I will give you context. Ignore the poor lighting here, though. I don't know if you've seen the... Hey, you know what? I'll give you a better render of it. So I did a new preview render.
Idea for a rocket navigation system, but I need your help. Rocket science! Woo! Headshot surgery! Squishy! Yeah! Now grab the brain! You got a brain! Woo! Now put the brain on this rocket! Now fire the rocket! Hypothesis, this will be frickin' sick! Science!
To get there. But I need to apply real life logic. That's how it works. Isn't good. The audio is the main thing I don't like about it. Usually once I put in music or background audio, besides just normal like bam boom impact stuff, it changes the pacing a lot, and to where I usually need to space things out. So we'll see. I have a feeling that I'm gonna have to extend a lot of stuff. So I want to figure out the music before any of these go green, which would be the like 100% done. A lot of those have to do with the physics. So I don't like this settle down time. Why is it not just get to that position quicker? Like that. Even this could be quickened up a little. So I want his arms to be stuck out. I'll give it a shot here. So it'll be from here to there. I kind of like it. Yeah, I like that. I don't know why, it just makes it feel more spike. His... Oh, I need to start a little earlier, actually. Oh, can you see a clip? Yeah. Because... Oh, and actually the other one does clip, too. So... It starts right about here. Oh. So it's going to start them dropping a little earlier. Can't even really see a clip. So this is going to be rendered on the frame. So it's 2 frames out of 30, I think. So that's not that bad. Looking at an epic skydive or something here. I should make it bent a little bit. Oof. I wonder if all I can do is just grab it all of them. Oh, Fico-Sin, we're not doing anything wrong. Just putting Spike in a rocket. I'm just gonna have, I think, the bottom piece of this do that a little bit. No, I've actually just considered ending it where it is. Like, just ending it literally here. Just because it kind of is funny in ending it there, but I also feel like I should do something else with it. So it really depends on, I think, how I feel later. If I want to keep going with it or not. Like, Remembrance originally had a 1.5-minute sequence before the actual video started that I never did. That was going to get more context to the video. I ended up just... because I was going to do the premiere at BronyCon in 2015 for Remembrance, and then when I went home I was going to finish up the 1.5 minute. And then I messed up my leg real bad, and I was like couch bound for a 1.5 months. And by the time that was done, I just said, F it. I thought about doing that too. The have him just floating through space, but I kind of did it once before. But actually, with the last Sideswipe one. I forget what I called it though. What did I call the last Science Twilight one? Oh! There we go. At the end of this one?
Here are some facts about life.
I believe I can soar.
Though the whole point of doing this was because it allowed me to put the cards at the end. So on the final, so at the end then I got to do
Spread my wings and fly away.
I made it so I could put the cards on there. That was the whole point of it. It just ended up being that it ended up being funny as well. So because I've done one like that before, I don't want to reuse the same joke. I don't like reusing jokes. So I mean, I don't really know what else to do, because originally the idea, and I think I still have it here. Yeah, I do. Was, and I kind of like the one here, was blow up something very cliche. So we had like to do the White House from the Independence Day movie, or the Death Star exploding, because the cliche in itself is just stupid. But I also like the idea of using it as part of the fireworks from the MLP movie at the end. Like, I don't know how hard it would be to edit it in, but to make it look like the initial one that like Tempest launches off looks like the rocket or something. Something like that I think would actually be pretty funny. And I like that idea the most. It's just I don't know how feasible it is. The nice thing is that there's so much other stuff to work on right now that it's no real rush. I can do anything really. I could get this all 100% done before then. Okay, those legs need to sweep up a bit more. Even if Elon Musk had no C, I don't know if I want to use it. I would rather use something from NASA. Elon Musk is doing good work in that regard, but I feel like NASA is being shortchanged, if anything. I don't think NASA has an OC though. I've thought about trying to do like something on the with Pones. I don't know, or do like the anthology short that Crown Prince did, where it was the where you just take various clips and just keep editing something into all of them, like it was interacting with something. I don't know. There's a lot of ideas to go with. At this point, it's about probably quicker than that. I need to move the brain. It needs to get out of the way. Okay, so I need this to go backwards. Probably move a little bit forward. Okay, this door also cannot close that much. So I need it to close to right here. I was going to do the whole thing, but I'm just now going to do... Is this the one? Okay, that one. So... how best do I want to go about that? Oh, easy. So let's say this is the position right here. To in. Like that. And let's delay. Let's spike move a little earlier. Okay, by way of comedic timing, that's perfect. It's at a cadence, so boom, boom, boom. Yeah. I do need to remove this. That might actually be tough. I don't know, we'll see. What game is this from? I think it's from... no, that's Black Mesa. Nope, episode 2. No, go away. No, there it is. That's a weird. It's a really long texture. That's why I opened Photoshop before stream. Alright, so we're gonna go to... I have not set up my mouse wheel to be the zoom yet. Alright, so we just need to remove the yellow. Hello, Michael. I am doing very well. Today was a very good day. How are you doing? That's good. Typically I'm working on site tomorrow. Actually, I'm working on Spike and technicals. Gotta get some work done, and I'm gonna be essentially not streaming for. Actually, I messed up here. I got rid of the R here. I'm not gonna be streaming for essentially 2 weeks after today. I wasn't sure if, because my one boss had quit the other week, and the she had originally gave me authorization to go to New York at the end of the month for to do some training, and so I had to check with the VP that's taking over for in the meantime. Got that reapproved, so I am going to be going to New York at the end of the month, but I have BabsCon in there as well, so and normally it'd be like, yay, travel, work. It's going to be such a rush of a trip that it's probably not going to be that fun of a trip. BabsCon's going to be fun. This is probably the last year of going, though. I don't plan to go next year. Nothing wrong with BabsCon. I just, it's not like I had some issues with Everfree, and the reason I go to BabsCon now instead of Everfree is because some of the logistics behind the scenes at Everfree angered me a little bit. So not with some of the recent stuff. It was before some of the other drama, just with treatment and stuff. So I replaced that with BabsCon, but I want to start visiting places that are outside convention times, and so that requires that I slow down a little bit from it. So I still plan to go to Charlie Cons, but I plan to not go to BabsCon anymore, unless if something happens this year like last year. I said the same thing last year, that I wasn't going to go to BabsCon this year, and then I had a blast last year, so I kind of want to, like, you know, we'll go again. And I was a little worried how my job position stuff will be, because some stuff happening with my work lately, and I wasn't sure if I changed jobs, if I would be able to have that kind of vacation, because right now I get 3.5 weeks, and so I had an interview today for somewhere else. So, but the benefits, after talking with them, I have no problem. So if that works out, I'll still be able to do the stuff I want to do. So let's see if I can just select these sections. Okay, so that goes to gray, and it's very much not the actual color, which means that that yellow, and it's not about keeping the yellow, it's about changing the hue to something that matches. So I'm thinking it's going to be a slight blue, maybe somewhere in there. It's actually kind of a greenish. Like, I don't know what's there. Actually looks pretty good. Only thing with doing this that I don't like is that it removed the little like scratch marks that from this like being released, but I'm not really worried about it. I thought I'd like put text on here of like for brain or something, but I'd have to up the quality texture of everything, because if this is the quality of it, I'd have to keep everything else, any other text like that too. So new. So rockets. We want rockets. No lambda. Is that how you spell lambda? Yep, lambda. Lighting looks weird on this, but I'm thinking it's just... Yeah, there's still... I'm not getting an ambient occlusion on there. Like, you can see here, just nothing on there. But I think it's because it is literally the only... It is way in the front. There's nothing for it. Yeah, it looks fine when you do it that way. Okay, I need to balance this lighting out, though. Because he is, like... He's glowing spike. Okay, so it's this one. But it looks like he's getting a secondary light from below. What is the one that's hitting him really hard? That one. I do not want that rocket hitting him. What is this doing? It's for the outer edges. If that's the case, we'll just point this at the outer edges. Actually, I'm not even really doing much. Okay, so that's not near as bright. Okay, so that should help a little bit. Why do I Twilight's highlights? Still blowing them out though. So if I shut off everything, or all the spotlights, all the lights, he's still too bright. Okay, that's what I was curious about. So some of these I don't need. Like that one I don't need. That one I kind of do. This one I don't need. Don't need. Oh wait, let me check. Nope. It's way off in the corner there. Don't need. This one apparently doesn't do anything for this shot. I think those are the lower ones. Is this the only spotlight that actually is like active? I'll save them though, because I might actually. Well, I'll keep one. I might save it. I'll use it for something else. What does the volumetric do? This actually could maybe come in handy. Yeah, because I think that'll actually work, because in this shot you can see the and I probably want to increase the height of that a little bit. I think this should work. I'm just gonna shrink down its range. So go to there and then increase that cutoff. So it's just at the bottom edge. Let's do a little bit less than that edge and a little bit further in. Why is it that the edge? Oh, it's the angle I'm at. Aha. So I'm going to put that far edge up again, and then we're just going to turn this. There. That actually ended up being exactly what I was looking for. Yep, need that light. Door light, these ones I don't need. These ones I don't need. Keep the catwalks. Alright, so just gonna figure out that light. Balance the light out, keeping Spike better balanced with the rocket. I'm sorry, I was just reading back. No, legitimately, I was sorry. I was not considering going next year. I want to try to slot on a convention. It just never happens. Right now, I think for the last 5 years, all but like maybe 4 to 5 days of vacation have been used for conventions. So I like going to them and all, but I want to see other stuff, and I feel like I'm spending all my time just going to conventions, which isn't a bad thing. Like I said, it's but there's other things I'd like to do. Or if I'm going to go to a convention, I want to go to different ones. So I want to go to like if HarmonyCon still goes again next year, going to like HarmonyCon, TrotCon, not to these same ones I keep going to. Like I said, the Charlie ones are still a different type of con. And actually, if I get this job, this new one, it's actually every other Friday off. So I could end up mathing out that I don't actually have to work that Friday anyway, and I save a vacation day. So I want to go to this one model. Oof. That was not what I wanted to do. That this was going to be color. Well, I broke it. No. Actually, I know how to fix this. Yes, I thought. Oops, whatever. It's fixed. Do I have to keep that there now? Yeah, I do. That's good to know. You can break that. This is going to be Vector 3 color. Okay, so its value right now is 0.75, so 0.25 is I tripled the brightness of the rocket, and I thirded the intensity. Yeah, the place goes on what they call the 980 rule. So it's you work four 9-hour days and then an 8-hour Friday, and then the next week you work 4 9-hour days and then you get Friday off. So you worked four extra hours each week for 2 weeks in a row, and then you just are off Friday. So, but the other thing was, since I start with 3.5 weeks of vacation, I'm like, okay, so what's the vacation plan? And they're like, well, you start with 3 weeks. I'm like, okay, so you start with 3 weeks and you essentially get 26 extra days off out of the year. It's actually a pretty good deal. Okay, so I think Spike is much better lit here. Or at least I think he could possibly be a little brighter. And to do that, we're going to go to 2.5, 2.5, 2.5. And just going to guess this at 0.3. That's a little better. His lighting, though, is dark from the top, so I need something to balance that off a little more. So I'm just going to grab this blue ambient. Whatever I do here, I'm going to have to copy the other shot eventually as well. Which I kind of like that extra little light there. But that does help light him up a little bit. I feel like this spotlight... Oh, no, actually that shadow makes sense. I'm going to put another one of these though. So I'm going to rename this one 1 and 2. And this one's job is going to be to light up his feet just a teeny tiny bit. Yeah, just like that. So I don't want black. That spotlight. We're going to turn the shadows on the spotlight. So I don't really need this anymore. And we're going to... I'm going to say that this light's not going to have a very sharp shadow. So we're going to put it like this. Okay, and the other thing I forgot about is this thing now has to utilize the same lighting as this. So this is a 2.5. There. I wonder if there's supposed to be like an actual latch for this. What is the name of this model again? Just Rocket Hatch? So this is on E2 Rocket. I'm wondering, maybe there's a latch that's supposed to go on there that's separate for the spinning. This might take a bit to find it. So Michael, any more news on your foundation? It's like 45,000 models. About a third the way there, maybe. It is done? Oh, that's good. So you moved out yet? There's no actual handle. You gotta paint again? Yeah, I guess there is no latches. They have a pre-made. Ooh, let's see this. Wow, that's kind of cool. I could use that. Totally. It goes really slow though, and the rocket's already launching. You can actually have it be start at further in. It doesn't have to be the whole animation sequence. You could just jump it right towards the end. Well, yeah, I guess it's all dirt, no grass, isn't it? So I want to use this. I feel like I could. I don't really want to use it now, though, because I don't have the scene built for it. If I do the fireworks thing, I don't think it'll work. So I might pass that, for at least for now. Let's just look another way. I might actually, let's take Spike. And he starts moving really quick. Let's instead take like this first frame. We're gonna extend that out like 2 frames and then around the end of it. Yeah, that's a little better. You may be able to round out. Let's round out another one. Like that. And I'm gonna do hands up. I'm just gonna grab everything. I was thinking some explosion stuff too. But I'm not. There's a lot of stuff to think about and potentially do. I haven't really. Or there's a lot of different options I can go with, and I want to make sure that because I have so much other stuff to do that if I'm not like, yes, I'll do that one, to give it time. This leg though freaking sounds like a microwave. So there is some clipping going on here, but I think for the speed, you're not even going to notice it. Let's see the camera here. It kind of stops at the end here and doesn't really continue on at all. Let's see if I can blend that out a little bit more. There we go. That works a little better. I will call that orange. Call it Spike Dies. I thought I was calling it Rocket Science. I haven't decided what to name it yet. I thought Rocket Science would probably be the best way to go about it. I think not the save file, but I think in one of the other ones I call it Rocket Surgery, because that's one of the things she says. Not in what I'm doing, but it makes a little bit more sense because it's rockets and like you're removing somebody's brain. But I think I'm good on abusing Spike for now.
Now.
I think this scene I might extend just a little bit. When seeing it in the final with the full renders and stuff, it seems like a big jump to have her suddenly here. So I considered extending this by like about a second.
Now.
Maybe a little less.
Now. Hypothesis.
So I have this then. Extend it a little bit. Otherwise, I'm just gonna blend it.
Now fire the rocket. Now.
No. This just makes weird noise.
Now fire the rocket.
Okay, so the point of this is that I can then have her look like she's moving into that area. So instead of having her just standing there, I can have might be a little slower than that. Actually, she's floating. Oh, I forgot about that. So if I do this, it has to be like...
Now, fire the rocket!
So it does make that a little bit more difficult, because I forgot that she is legitimately just like, oops, floating back here. I haven't put any other platform for her to stand on already. This thing right here is bugging me too. It throws off the whole symmetry and stands out way too much. I'm gonna leave it for now, but I might end up reducing its brightness a little bit. Winnie Von Barn? No, it sounds stupid. Twilight Spara? No, I don't want to use it. It's funny if you know the reference, but without it, it kind of gets lost. If the name was mentioned more, sure, but I don't even think the game says Dr. Spara. I swear it's all just in the files. But the files are actually called, I think, Rocket Surgery. Oh, here it just says Dr. Spara, but I think it's actually called Rocket Surgery in the files. Yeah, but see, that requires that people have smart. We're not going to do that. Clever doesn't mean it's going to be funny for all. This looks like a different red. I don't know why, but this looks like a different red. Oh, it's because I'm in that shot. Okay. Bugging me. Okay, so apparently I broke that texture. I want to see if it'll fix if I exit out. I'm guessing it will. Overrides are great, but overrides have an issue where certain overrides will cause modification or changes to models that aren't included in the override. I had that happen with Fluttershy's main when I tried to override to add a bump map. Anytime you override to include a bump map, it will break all other models, saying that a bump map is missing. That we're of that same type. Okay, yeah, that fixed it. So this, I'm gonna turn this down a little bit. So I need a just like a metal scratch sound. What would the swing have a sound? Put that back down. Yeah, it woke me up too. We need some kind of impact. Buzzsaw probably coming. It's not different. It's always supposed to be the buzzsaw. So we need just a metal impact. But I want more of like a thud. Some of those broke. We talk. Hey, when I was 20, so like I'm working on it too. I started when I was in the late 20s as well. I cared a little bit at the time, but now I really could care less. I think the only thing I don't like about the balding aspect is, it is another place for me to burn. So that kind of sucks. Otherwise, I'm making drums. That's good. Silver Spade Spike. Actually, I never checked how those speed lines actually looked in the render. It actually looked pretty good. There's one through his neck. This is probably not supposed to happen, but it's fine. I think the only thing that's a problem is I think the green might be a little bright. Yeah, I think it's fine actually. Or maybe to have them be a little longer. Yeah, I'll just leave it. I don't know if I'm ever going to gray. Like my dad, he started balding about the same time I did, so I got that part of his genes. But he also still has color in his hair, so I don't see myself graying, especially being a redhead. I don't see myself having that issue. But if I had to choose between getting gray hair earlier or balding, I'd choose gray hair. I'm just glad I don't have both. Hello, that's your fan. Shoot the ball. How am I supposed to shoot the ball? I think the one thing that's a little annoying with the hair is it's balding in one spot, where like I legitimately have like no hair for a good like dollar size shape there, but it's that I still have super thick hair on the sides. I went and got my hair cut yesterday for the interview, and that was one of the things mentioned is like I do have thick hair, I just don't have it in this area. Your mom? Yes, I think I'm good in that one. So, now I need to try to balance out this rocket shot. So, to get the lighting to balance out the same here, I need to go through each of these rockets. And we're going to go color. I'm like, what's causing that? But that's the I know that's it. That is environment map, I think. So do that. This one. Okay, apparently. Okay, this one is the bottom one. Okay. Now we're going to take all the spotlights. Damn. And ugh, I don't like where this one's sitting. What are these at? Oh, they're at the same. Oh, that one's meant to be low. Okay, that's fine. So, we'll zero it to about that point, maybe? Does that match up? No. That's better. Okay. So now Spike is not as bad. You can fly into there without worry. That's gonna be so freaking fun to animate. Apartment showers Pepe hands. For it's easy, just go like that. Actually, that's just the problem of finding a shampoo that actually like works good. Because the problem with having balding spots now is like have drier hair, so I have to worry about dandruff, and so I just can't find a shampoo that works well for me. Yeah, I'm not worried about the gray part either. Yeah. But even though I kind of like gray, like my mom has, like you bet my mom, like the salt and the pepper hair. I like that. My mom's hair. I like the salt and pepper look. I think it's super cool. I wish I could get something like that, but well, actually, they kind of look weird on me. But sure, I can do it. I just dye my hair pink. No, that's not what I'm gonna look like. They'll really, yeah, I could go bald across the top and let the sides grow out. Yeah, I think if I give it enough time, I probably could do it, like to naturally get it to that point. Other than the fact that that is absolutely horrifying and you're a bad person. But no clowns. No.
Now, fire the rocket!
So I think I'm done with the. Oh, I gotta extend this a little bit. That's good. That's gonna take a lot of work.
Science!
Why? This could actually be marked orange. Oh yeah, I was like, that should be orange too, but no, that's understandable. So I only have 5 red shots left, which is actually kind of surprising. I thought I would have more red ones than that. But all these are lip syncing, potentially lip syncing. Probably the most complex one I have to animate yet. And then this is just a lot more than I'm going to be able to do in one evening. And this one even. I wonder if I can just use what's there. I might be able to just use this as it is. I think I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna skip this one right now. So this is just the stand animations. So this one should be pretty smooth. And I think this is built where I can cross. Yep. So this is just going to be essentially a continuous blend. Actually, it turned out pretty good for what it was. This is definitely the face science. Totally the wow too. Hair bobs it, so I'm not. Make sure I'm detailing seeing is what I want it to be. I don't think it's gonna matter that it's clipping. Yeah, you can't even see it anyway. Oh, the volume slider? It's actually on the workshop. Found it recently. No Pennywise dance. No, they're not all gonna be booped. They crashed because of no ad. You cannot watch if you do not give them money. I have YouTube Premium, so I actually don't see any YouTube ads. It's my way of, I usually use ad blocker, but it kind of feels like a dick move if you're making ad revenue and taking it from others. So my compromise was to get Premium. And I don't regret it though, YouTube Music's great. The no ad thing works across all platforms, so even on phone I don't get ads. And it lets me play music and videos in the background on my phone. I think I know what you're talking about. Oh, that one. The bad Pennywise dance. Yeah, that's not creepy. I love the camera work on there, that it keeps locked to the face like that. I think that's so funny. I have not seen the new It either. I haven't seen the old It though. Not a fan of those kind of movies. So I think really that's all I need to do with her on this, because she's from a distance, and I don't even think she's the object in focus. Yes, which means I can get away with a lot more. Yeah, I'm just gonna call that good. I'll still have to do some definite cleanup, mainly wing animation and tail animation, and probably keeping her ears from getting all flop. But yeah, otherwise it's doing pretty good. Actually, one thing I did forget back on Spike here is he is supposed to have magic surrounding him. But in this one, I probably should have it just on his tail, because that's kind of what it's implying, because I'm just swinging his butt. I heard a cat. I don't see a cat, though. So I just need to light his tail. Or not light his tail. Actually, it seems like he's a little bit... As he gets out to this point, it gets a little darker. But I think it's going to take a render to figure that out. Are You Afraid of the Dark is what is great. What was the name of the group in there? Like the Midnight Society or something? It was because Are You Afraid of the Dark was where they would go out and like tell stories around a campfire. We would when I was in college, so this was like 10 years ago. We would go, and in the dorm hall that we were in, we would take in somebody's TV, and we would put the Midnight Society, and we would put the TV. We'd have all the lights off in this. It's a larger room meant for like group events or just anything you want to do as a group, and we put the TV in the middle, right by the window, and we would all sit in a semicircle around in front of the TV like a campfire, and we would watch these old shows because the graphics were funny at that point. And so we'd watch Are You Afraid of the Dark? We'd call it the Midnight Society meeting and watch it all in the dark just for fun. That was great. We probably did it every couple of weeks. Good times. Yeah, Animorphs was good. Goosebumps was good. It's just kids' books. Animorphs was a good one. Now they have like the Twilights and the Sparkling Vampires. Kids these days. I know we're a nerd, but it was fun. In college we used to do that. We one time had a watching of The Big Lebowski. We made a whole bunch of White Russians, and it was to take a drink every time somebody said the word dude. We were pretty drunk by the end of the night. We used to play Halo in that because the landline within the dorm hall was all connected. So you hooked up to it for internet. If two people connected their Xboxes using like a direct link cable to it instead, it would allow you to connect to a multiplayer game for anybody in the entire hall. So you could have people completely down the hall from each other. That is would be playing multiplayer, and it was great because that was at a time where online multiplayer was still newer. I mean, it was I guess not maybe newer, but not refined, and or it was paid service. So it was nice because you could just play Halo. It was pretty neat. Yeah, it's so fun. Animorphs is not the reason. Oh, no. So that looks more like a horse becoming a person. I'm thinking that that's actually what it was. I think I remember reading most of... I can't remember how many of those I read, but I read quite a few. Only name I remember from them is Tobias, the bird. The kid that got stuck as a bird. So what would be a tail shape? Like a cone? I'm just gonna grab a cone. Who cares? Oh, I was playing with audio, so let's save. Tobias was the coolest character in there. That's what I was waiting for. For the Halo thing. So we used to do it because I played a lot of Halo 1. I even had a hacked Xbox so I could play Halo 2, where I had an extra button featured on the controller to do photography and stuff. But we used to, so I had hundreds of games that I played online and had a good kill death. And so they would be playing down the hall and you could hear them yelling or whatever. And eventually, like, one team would be losing and they'd call me in to, like, because they were in different rooms on different teams, to call me in and just take over for somebody. And every now and then they'd catch on that I jumped in. It was good times. I had a lot of fun in college. Actually, it was because of college that I'm probably even doing right now, this right here right now, because I used to be a huge console gamer, and then when I went to college, I kind of got caught up in an MMO, and then it kind of got me into the PC side of gaming, and therefore into PC in general. I wouldn't have done a lot of it without. This is probably not going to work if I want to, but we'll go with it. Nope, that wasn't the right folder, it just was loading. Don't want that. Oh, there it goes. I was like, but the cone's over here. Could have probably done a medium-sized object. Still too many. Well, let me get the color down first. So I should probably copy the color. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to copy the particle effect from here. I forgot about that. Actually, there was a really cool event that happened in college where we saw some flyers around, me and a friend, that was advertising a Microsoft-sponsored Halo tournament. And it was, you can win prizes and games and whatever, and it was going to be played at the auditorium. So essentially there was just this big movie theater with a whole crapload of seats, and you would play on this enormous screen. And we're like, oh yeah, we're gonna go. So we like brushed up on our skills and like played against each other a whole bunch because he was pretty good too, and got to a good level. And then we went to this event, and it was like 8:30 in the morning for some stupid reason. We went to this event, and so it was me, my buddy, and one other person that showed up out of the entire school. I mean, the school had like, I think it was like 15,000 people, and only 3 people showed up. And No, there was 4 because we were able to get a 4-person game going, and so it wasn't really a tournament. So it was sponsored because it was supposed to be advertising Microsoft doing like some programs. So this guy gave a whole speech on stuff, but then we got to play Halo on the big screen, and he had prizes for the top 4 people, and 4 people showed up. So he basically just said, pick a game, I guess. And it wasn't they were like $60 games. They were like brand new, freshly came out games. I think like Oblivion was one of them, and it wasn't long after the 360 came out. So it was like good titles. So I ended up taking one. I can't remember which one I grabbed then. I think it was one of the Gears of Wars at the time. And no, my buddy grabbed the Gears of War one. I grabbed a different one. He grabbed the Gears of War one, and he already owned it, but it was still wrapped in his plastic wrap. So he took it to Best Buy and returned it. He didn't have a receipt, but it was still in its plastic. So he just walked in and returned it. Got $60. Or was it, no, they were probably $50 at that time. But yeah, it was just great. I'm like, really? And he was like, I already owned it. I didn't want it anymore. So he ended up making like $50-$60 from that tournament. It was funny though, but it was really sad because I was so excited because it was going to be this great tournament that we thought we could do pretty good on. I did play in one other tournament where it was for Halo 2's release. It was at EB Games. EB Games was eventually bought out by GameStop, and it was at the pre-release party, so like at midnight or whatever. But for like from 9 to 12, they were going to run these tournaments. And so they had a big TV, and you would go in these 4-person games. It would be like one-on-one and one-on-one, just full free-for-all. And I jumped in the game, and I was good at Halo 1. And when I went to start, it was not inverted. And the game had already started, and they wouldn't let me like pause to fix it. So I had to play the game with my directions reversed. And I still placed, I think, second, but only first place moved on. So, whilst with the controls doing a 180 on what I was used to, I still placed second. I had to play the whole thing without relying on up and down, essentially. Which was, so I'm proud of that, but I'm sad that I didn't actually get to put as much into it as I could have. Oh yeah, that was using the other spike model for that. So where's the aura? Oh. Still think that's a bit bright. That's better. Okay. Too many sparkles then. I'm trying to think of anything else stupid we did in college. I have one, but it's probably inappropriate, so I'm not going to say that one. The way I met my neighbor. So when I first moved in there, I was living with I came mid-year, so you're kind of stuck with whoever you get. They don't do a good match because it's whoever's available. And I ended up staying with the cornerback for the football team. So he was just super jock, always having ladies over, and like we came back from spring break one time, and we were on a dry campus. There was a bottle of Hennessy sitting in the room. Door was unlocked because he lost his key for the 5th time, and there was like open condom wrappers everywhere. And I'm like, okay. So I didn't really have any friends at the time, and ended up that I went to go I went to go to the shower one time, and so the shower's down the hall, so I just put on my little flip-flops and a towel, and I walked down and took a shower. When I came back, roommate came back and locked the door on me. I didn't have my key. So I didn't even know he was there at the time. So I'm locked out with only wearing a towel, and it is like 0 degrees out, and I'm now standing in front of a locked door. And I'm like, you fucking kidding me? So, and I've only been there at this point for like a month. And I'm like, I don't know anybody else, so I just went to the person next to me, and there's 3 guys in the room, and I walked in there, just King of Towel, knocked on the door, and it's like, hi, I got locked out of my room, what the hell I do? And so they were super cool. One of them let me borrow a sweatshirt, and said just go downstairs, talk to the person, they can get me a new key to get in. And so that's what I ended up doing. It was just felt really awkward, but because of that, I ended up talking to those guys more next door and actually became friends with them for the 1.5 years I was there. So an awkward situation that turned into actually something, friendship. So and that kind of reminds me to another story. So that dorm did not have air conditioning, and it would get hot, so like that it could get over 100 degrees in the hall. So a lot of the people in that hall, because it was so hot, would just strip down and wear boxers in the whole hall. Everybody would just be wearing boxers. They'd have the windows open, fans blowing, everybody with the doors open to try to get whatever cross breeze you could, but everybody would be sweating and just in boxers. But really, after you go through a couple days of that, it's not that bad because you just acclimate to it. Sleeping still kind of sucked, but you just got used to it. If anything, when you actually went to class, you were cold because of the air conditioning. So the one of the weekends, my parents were coming to visit, and so I actually was dressed, and they're in the room, they're like, this is hot as hell in here. And I'm like, that's just what it is. I'm like, to me, wearing the clothes, I was getting a little warm, but otherwise I was fine. I just was used to it. So while I'm sitting there talking with my parents, one of those guys, the guy that originally let me borrow a sweatshirt, comes wandering into my room, and he is just drenched in sweat, no shirt, wearing just boxers, with a can of wasabi peas, chewing on them. So he's like, snot coming out, and like, because it's super hot, he was to help him sweat. So he just walks in and he goes, hey buddy, what's up? I'll see you later, and just walks right back out the door. You know that meme where it's The Simpsons where the grandpa walks in, put his hats down, and then does another spin, grabs his hat, and walks right back out the door? That's exactly what it was. Because he's like, okay, I look really bad, I'm leaving. My parents got a good laugh out of that, but college was fun. Yeah, it was the real life version of that meme. I was gonna do the cone because of the tail, but it's particles attach themselves to the hitbox, and the hitbox for this, I'm pretty sure, is a big square, so I'm gonna keep it like that. Spike pelvis. Okay, so forward it's not keeping up, but it's going backwards is what it actually should look like. Okay, and actually it is by his hips that I'm moving because his tail is swinging around. I think that his tail needs to be bent down more here though. That looks a lot better. Floppy spike, yep. No, it's dorm life can suck if you don't know anybody, but if you know people, and by the time I left there, I knew about half the hall. It's fun. It's great. It gives you the first taste of living away from home, but not having to worry about a lot of different things. I loved the dorm life. I miss that a lot. You basically lived in a closet, and it. But it didn't matter because that was where you slept, but the whole hall was where you lived. If you think about it as where that room is your only living space, then yes, it sucks, but the whole hall is where you live. Well, my first college roommate was not good. After that, I ended up rooming... It was a random that got pulled for the next time, but she ended up being actually pretty cool because they matched us up better. It was the beginning of the school year. But I remember he walked in and we were playing, I think, Stranglehold or something. It was one of the, like, Jet Li games, and we were constantly shooting people in slow motion in the nuts. And, like, every one of them just, like, curling over going, oh! And doing, like, weird, goofy faces. And we were just laughing so hard when him and his mom walked in. And she was watching us play for a while, too. So, it ended up being pretty fun. So after that, I had roommates that were good. But this just... coming in the middle of the school year, so after winter break, everybo's still staying through there, so the only rooms available are the people that left during that time. So that first semester sucked, for sure. So I think for the most part, I kind of want to render this out just to make sure that this smoke is going to render correctly. But if you kind of wiggle it around, you'll see where it should be. And it should render that correctly. If I go by frame to frame. Nope. Because particles. Anyway. So, only 4 red ones left. Probably want to start one of the hard ones next time, but the next time's not going to be for a while here. So, I will not be streaming next Tuesday and next Friday, or next Tuesday I'm in an audit. So I won't be streaming. Next Friday and next Tuesday, or the Tuesday after that, I'm in San Francisco for BabsCon, and then that Friday I'm in New York doing training. So I'm legitimately not streaming any day until the 30th. I wish I could do something before that, but kind of stuck. So yeah, next stream is in 2.5 weeks. So, yeah, sorry. Yep, no more Senpai for a little bit. I would try to stream other days, but legitimately, like, audit is all this week. I'm just flying out early, and then I get back sometime on the 23rd, and then I'm flying out the 24th again. So I am home for less than 24 hours. So I'm not going to spend any of that time streaming. I'll probably actually be working that day. I still have to set up my flight for New York. I haven't done that yet. Not my money. It's fine. Anyways, because of that, have a good couple weeks. Have a good April, I guess. Yeah, work has me traveling. Originally, because I might be changing jobs now, the intent was in June I'd be flying to Italy. But I don't think I'm going to be with the company. If this new job goes through, and I'm almost 100% sure it will, I won't be going out to Italy. And before I was kind of excited about having the opportunity to go, but I'm kind of like going to be traveled out after April, I think. So, anyways, so have a good April and stuff. And Surya, hopefully I'll see you tomorrow at the mall meet at 11. Yes. Okay. Have a good one, guy. Oh yeah, have a cat. Have a good one. Yeah, man.